Hi everyone, it's Monday at the Mystical Magical Mansion. I am so glad you're here. If this is the first time you're tuning in, my name is Kim. My husband Ryan and I bought this beautiful historic home here in Omaha, Nebraska in the Gold Coast neighborhood just over a year ago, and each week we share a little bit about our DIYs, our projects, our hobbies, our family, and a little bit about Omaha's history. So this week is very, very special because we got to be part of something that I have been wanting to do for years. So the St. Cecilia Cathedral is such an iconic part of the Omaha skyline. If you look anywhere from the west side of town looking east, you see those twin bell towers that sit high up on the hill, and a lot of people don't know what that is or where they're at, but it's a beautiful old church that's just a few blocks from our home. And every year they have a flower show to support the arts. And I had heard about this for years. This week we went down and took a look at it, and I want to share some of the pictures from it. The video doesn't do it justice, just because the cathedral itself is absolutely stunning. There is beauty at every corner. There were a lot of people, and we had to move fairly quickly through, so I didn't get to take the time that I wish I would have had. But I think you'll enjoy some of the pictures and the gorgeous alcoves, and there was a choir singing while we were there, and just the beautiful, beautiful floral arrangements were just stunning. All right, team. Headed down to the church. Headed up to the church. I guess we're walking uphill.
But not to go to church.
Nope, we're going to the flower show. Look of impatience.
Thank you. Patience is a virtue.
Gosh, look at that ceiling. Wow. The vestibule is absolutely beautiful. This display was my absolute favorite. It was a photo of the burning prairie, but included were some blown glass elements to basically explain how the prairie renews itself and that fire is not devastating but actually a beginning. The glass was by Schrader made glass, and it was absolutely beautiful, so unexpected and so lovely. So I have to thank my sister-in-law, Carol, for finding probably the greatest find ever. These are blue willow bandages. So if you're classy and you're bleeding or punctured or wounded in some way, or even maybe have a blister on your foot, but you still want to look unapologetically fancy, you use your blue willow bandages. Who knew there was such a thing? Oh my God. I swear there's blue willow everything. And thank goodness. So I'm having a little cup of tea on my antique rose chintz cup and saucer set that I really, really adore. And I had this epiphany when I was walking through the church of why I like old churches. I'm not a highly religious person. I'm a very spiritual person, but I don't attend a church regularly. But I love old churches. And I think there's something really wonderful about the glory and the work and the tenacity put in the buildings. I love the reverence and the symbolism and the tradition of all of it. But I also think old churches stand the test of time because there's a whole group of people supporting it, nurturing it, loving it, versus there are a lot of old houses in this neighborhood, in this part of our city of Omaha, like a lot of cities that are at the risk of being demolished or destroyed to build apartment buildings or big high-rises and, you know, more ugly rectangular boxes. That's my opinion. But anyway, when that happens, a lot of times if it's just a residential home or just an old Victorian or an old Gothic house or whatever it is, there's usually only one person standing in their way. But if it's a church, there's a congregation fighting for that building or caring for that building. And so it changes it altogether. So I appreciate that. Like, I appreciate that there's, you know, a love and support and a nurturing. But I think churches by nature are unapologetically fancy. They're beautiful, they're ornate, the craftsmanship is amazing. So I really appreciated getting to go through St. Cecilia Cathedral this weekend, and just appreciating it. And the music was beautiful, and the flowers were incredible, and it was just once in a lifetime thing. So I encourage you this week to do something unapologetically fancy for yourself, whether that's going and checking out someplace in your city or your area that you've always wanted to go, or to just really, if you attend a church or you go someplace beautiful, really just take a moment to appreciate the architecture and all of the beautiful surroundings. Someone made that, someone built that, and you know, I think like all old things, they had a life before us, and I hope they'll have a life after us. And so we need to take care of them and not let everything just sort of end up in the landfill. So here is the mushroom growth. This is Wednesday morning. So here's my hand. So we're probably 4 inches tall here. Look at all of this. It's really changing. It's super cool. So I just brought it out here to the kitchen to mist it. Here's this side. So we're misting it twice a day. That's what the instructions say. But man, it's just this incredible amount of new ones over here too. Like, look at all these little babies. So yes, this is 10 days after we initially started this. Amazing. So this is the mushroom harvest, and I waited probably a day too late to harvest them because actually I've popped them off and then split them, but unfortunately they're hard. I think I waited a day too late because they look amazing, but they're like, I don't know if you can hear that, but they're hard. They just went really almost like tree bark hard. Yeah, so I don't know that they're edible at this point, but they look pretty. So maybe next batch we pick them a little sooner. I mean, this one in the center is fairly good sized, but yeah. So I'm not sure what we did wrong exactly, but they look pretty. They got really hard. So we'll try this again with our next batch, and hopefully it's a little, our long-term outcome is a little better. Maybe we just need to pick them sooner. All right, friends, get out your good stuff, get out your dishes, get out your china, do something unapologetically fancy this week. Enjoy your life. You know what? We're not guaranteed a tomorrow, and you deserve the good stuff today. So take care, stay well, and best wishes for the Mystical Magical Mansion. Cheers.